We are live for episode 2 of Dad's Bet Baseball. CJ, Slip and Jimmy, my co-host. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing great. I'm glad to be back with you here, Adam, later this week. I did not really have a voice for the first show on Sunday, so got one back and got a lot to talk about, I think, for this weekend's games.
And you have a new microphone, which is extremely
I do, yes. That's
Producer
also,
Spencer is very happy about that.
I don't sound like I'm dialing in from like a submarine this time around. This should sound much, much better.
It's great. Cool. All right, let's jump kind of right into it. Betting. So we'll talk a little bit about betting recap of what we've had over the last few days. For like a good win or bad win doesn't have to be. Don't have to have both. That's whatever. But good win, I can tell you just out of the gate. For me was Hunter Brown to get a win at plus 190. This is a market I just love right now because it's just mispriced. Just look, if you have a pitcher who you're high on, and you and I are high on Hunter Brown, and his outs is above 16 and a half, means he's going to be pitching for a large portion of the game. The Astros were minus 105 to win the game, but he was plus 190 to get the win. That's just awesome. So very happy with that win. Things I paid a little more attention this last few days to like more EV bets than I usually do, and or frankly that I did all first week. So anyway, that one I was really happy with. What did you have that you
yeah, that got a little bit dicey right out of the gate too, because he gave up two.
He gave up two. And
I played the, of course, because I was on the other side, I played the Nerfy in the first inning thinking like, okay, why is this price not like minus 200 between Ryan and Brown? And then of course he gives up two quick early runs. But yeah, no.
We also have a lot of stock. We actually had both of our non-DeGrom sides.
Yeah, for both for Mr. Ryan and Brown. So it sounds kind of bland, but I guess for April, I'm happy with it. I hit on a couple of dingers this week. I'm very happy to hit on the Bregman home run yesterday. I also had a Brayu, which didn't come through, but still, I'll take what I can get at this point. But Breggy Dong, and then also you and I were texting about it earlier this week. The Tampa Bay up against the rookie starter from Pittsburgh. What was his name again? I totally forget even now. Either way, it was a rookie starter, and it was in Tampa's park, and I hit on Britton Lowe
on it too. I got to remember this.
Yes, and that was also the Shane Boz game that we both.
That was the Boz game. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh, it was So what was his name? Harrington.
Okay. Well. Shows how much we've done a lot of research on that prospect, but so I was happy about that with Lowe getting the dong, and then also just the Bregman one for me. Those were two early good wins. Like I said, for April, it's you get any sort of home run bet to come through, you're going to be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean I haven't dove in. I think I got like a Jordan Walker home run the other night, which is great. I haven't really dove into the home run stuff yet. So there haven't been, but I went really overboard on the first couple of days for data collection purposes. It's been a little bit different now lately. I've either had up or I've been even days. It hasn't been crazy. But yeah, I'd say like the biggest thing that I've kind of seen, we could talk about it a little later, is just that I'm starting to identify certain markets that I really, really like. And that I'm just immediately going towards. Not that I don't know anything you were just like, I mean, it's so early in the season to really for you or I to feel this way, but there's anything that you're like, oh man, I did so badly on this, like I don't even want to touch it.
You know what? I'll be maybe. It's funny because we'll talk about this later in the show. I might be a little bit less exuberant on some of the over Ks. I feel like out of all of the props that I've been playing early first week, I've gotten burned on a couple of guys for what I would consider some low numbers. Like I've lost on sale both times that I played him. The one that was 5.5 against the Dodgers earlier this week, I think it was like I got 20% or something CLV on that. Of course it lost. So, that would probably be the only one that I'm like, that's like the kiss of death if you get more than, 10, 15% of CLV. But yeah, probably strikeouts for me. Just playing not getting a little bit too exuberant on the overs just because I know April's a little bit of a better pitcher's month. But otherwise, nothing kind of too crazy that I'm getting, I'd say, killed on because unlike you, I'm not doing as much data collecting in terms of like maybe spraying the board as much. I'm being a little bit more cautious on some of the markets I'm attacking. But that being said, we'll talk about it in the show. There are a lot of stuff that I think is going to be good for this weekend.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I haven't been doing, I mean, I haven't really nailed batter stuff yet, and that's fine. Like it's kind of hit or miss, but totals, I hate this term, but I got quote unquote hooked on like 3 of them, like 3 or 4 of them. So I've been really just been playing alts on that stuff. Like, I took, like today I have the Nats D-backs alt over 11.5 or over 12.5. I just think that game's going to be
good.
A shit show.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Nats D-backs because that's a game I want to talk about.
Nice. Well, look, let's get to okay, who are a couple players that have sort of jumped out for you? For me, dude, I think Christian Campbell is like we got another Jackson Merrill in terms of rookies. I think that dude is a stud. And he is just, I mean, we could talk about how I think that those contracts are terrible contracts another day. This is not an economics thing, but and giving up arb years is just always a terrible idea if you're a good baseball player. But that dude can play. That dude is balling out. So that's all I got on him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Saris earlier this week compared him to the worst case scenario would be like JJ Bleday, or JJ Bleday. I don't know how. That's not a. I don't know. Not a great comparison, but he also compared him to Merrill and a couple other guys. I mean, also like pretty decent swing strike rate, contact rate for him as well coming out of the gate.
That team, this is like that team isn't hitting.
And you and I both said in the offseason that I mean, I still believe this, but I think Anthony, out of their prospects, is probably the most desirable hitter that I would be looking at from that organization. So for the fact that he's already come up and shown something, I think is relevant. For me, it's going to be Jack Leiter. So Leiter this week was just, so talk about a bad beat. I bet quite a few Cincinnati batters for home runs in that game, just given his history. I'm going to pose this to you, Adam. Have we found Sonny Gray's next coming in Jack Leiter? Because this guy seemed are they the same guy, just a younger version? Because he's got a wicked fastball. He added velocity to this in the offseason. He's now got I believe he has a new pitch that he broke out for. What was the new pitch that he came out with?
I'm going right to Fangraphs, by the way.
I'm trying to look and see what the
looking at it.
Oh, it was a circle change. That was the one that he had added. But like a lot of the people in the Rangers organization had talked about him. And the key thing that I'd be looking from a betting market standpoint. So his control has been great the first 2 starts. I'm not anticipating that's going to hold. I do think that that's like probably going to come a little bit more to the mean. But I think some good markets for that I'm kind of looking with him is his under hits was 4.5 for the Reds game and for the previous one. I think under hits is kind of interesting to me because, again, if he's going to be in that sort of Sonny Gray mold, he's going to throw Ks and he's probably going to give up 1, maybe 2 home runs that are going to be like, big bombs, but he's probably not going to give up a ton of hits. So I kind of like his under hits at that 4.5, and then also kind of a fun SGP with him. Can play the under hits but over earned runs. So you're basically just creating a market that's saying pitcher to give up a home run. That's probably a good one with him going forward.
As I'm looking at his max EV, is bottom 10% in the league. So this all tracks. And real quick pause. And I got into the habit of doing this. I'm going to do this every 10 minutes of our show. But if you are just joining us, you've joined Dad's Bet Baseball. And you can drop in comments if there's like teams or if there's players or things you want questions about. Both CJ and I, who don't claim to be experts, but have opinions about everything with baseball, can happily talk about them. I haven't heard the Sonny Gray comp but I love it. Based on looking at them both right now, as looking like he's literally max EV is bottom 10%, which is exact same as Sonny Gray, but then his K rate is 29%, which is exactly like that's what Sonny Gray the other day, who we had. I overextended on Sonny Gray. Like I had the cards in that game, I had his K's in an underdog entry, and then I had him to get the win, and he was cruising. He was cruising against that Angels team, and then gave up a grand slam to Logan Hop, former Phillies prospect. And then the Cardinals blew him out the last 2 innings. I thought
I think they scored like 11 runs or something.
It was awesome. It was one of my best wins. And like it's funny because as you were talking, I am right now on the week 12 and 11 up with a 10% ROI and up 2 units on pitcher props this week. So which is great. That's very healthy. We won't talk about my batter props, but so
because I'm up on batter props by like 3 units.
But so wild
props,
because those are both of our different worlds. Like I just been really leaning into it. And go figure, DraftKings has been my best book. I know it's not to kind of tangent on this, and I know that we have some other stuff that we were going to talk about book wise. So last year, you and I did the analysis, or you did the analysis, and then I claimed it as mine and took credit for it. But the FanDuel was the sharper book. FanDuel was the sharper book for home runs. And like this year, I don't know. I don't think that that's true. Because maybe it's because of this no sweat promo that DK is running. But I'm not betting all their home runs. Where are you getting your home run wins? Are they on DK or are they on FanDuel?
No, they've been predominantly on DK. And okay. I mean, and I think just to make sure the audience kind of like gets this straight, when you're saying FanDuel sharp, a lot of our home run bets were on FanDuel and
right.
MGM
so I guess
last year.
The best line. So I should say the credible line,
for you as a bettor is going to be for sure on FanDuel or MGM. Yeah. No, I mean, I've still noticed at least early on, FanDuel has definitely got the best prices. I would say it like probably 70% of the time. If we're talking just about home runs, DraftKings has been a little bit more competitive in that area. Which if you're using DraftKings as like you're an EV guy and you're trying to use them as a DVIG, that's maybe not a great sign for you because then that means that the opportunity actually would be on the book that you're DVIGing. So I think right now I'm still seeing that FanDuel is a little bit behind. But I have played, I think, a decent number, probably like 30% of my home run plays so far have been on DK. And just, I guess, a quick shout out to DK. I mean, they've been great with the early season baseball promos.
Oh, I love it. Been loving it.
So please, I don't know how long this no sweat home run bet is going to go on, but if you're not playing that every day, to me, like you're just throwing money away.
Well, I've been doing it also. It's first of all, it's great because I'm using it on like just long guys. Like I had Jordan Walker at like 14-1 or something like that. But it's just great because I'm also now able to use it to hedge a lot of futures that are not going the way that I thought they were going to go. Real quick, want to take just a moment. If you're just joining us, Dad's Bet Baseball, like, subscribe. It's the same thing on every single channel. We haven't made a TikTok yet, but we'll figure that one out. But if you're listening, you're like, oh man, these guys actually know what they're talking about, or this is really helpful to me. You could do 5-star. You could be the first person to give us a 5-star review. It's going to be pretty awesome. So I see Brandon Porter already in our chat. We actually haven't worked out if producer Spencer wants to put it up or not. We can put Brandon Porter on blast. Cannon sucks. You are right. Cannon does stink. And I'm not going to go off on this is for a later episode. You know who I like though? Davis Martin, but that's for tomorrow. That being said, for me on the home run stuff, I just haven't done it yet, but it's been a good promo to be playing. I just wasn't sure if you'd seen anything as you've gotten more like this book is kind of doing a little bit more than others because I'm not usually as profitable on DK because I'm so home run dependent over the course of the season as I am now. All right. Upcoming series. We're at the midway of the show, so this is good. This is good at the turn. Upcoming series this week that you are looking to bet. Like, what is something that you are looking to bet this weekend? Tell me.
Oh, Brandon might like this answer because I do want to talk about the Phillies series. I mean, I know that's going to get a lot of attention.
Porter, by the way, is the biggest Riley Green fan in the universe. He is a good dude.
If we had Trevor in here, it would have just been take whatever team is playing against the Brewers. But yeah, so I would say I think just a game line that I'm looking at right now. I'm fascinated to see what's going to happen with the Sasaki market on Saturday because I don't know about you. After the soap opera that happened on his last start in Detroit and the tears and the emotion and he just loves this game so much, etc. No, I actually thought the Dodgers might pull him from this start. Like this is first real road start in Philadelphia. Like that's about as like dangerous as to throw somebody who's got some mental and emotional things that seems like to deal with. So now that being said, I also think that some of the quotes that I heard from Dave Roberts is like, yep, like we trust this guy. We think he's going to get it. He's going to push through. It seems like the team right now is completely behind him. And I could see a little bit of like a nobody believes in us already kind of thing with him tomorrow. So as far as action goes, here's what I'm going to recommend. I think you're either taking a Phillies all or you're taking a Sasaki like unders everything. Because
what book has that market?
I could very easily see this. What's up?
What book has the alt unders market? ESPN I've seen.
Yeah, ESPN, FanDuel definitely does. In terms of like, are we talking alt unders for props or alt unders for
alt
just
under
like
for alt under for
totals?
That's like if I wanted to like have a bottoming out Sasaki line, which I agree with you. And you know me, I'm like very big on dating Sasaki.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I think more likely than not, this is going to be a train wreck for him. And I also think under outs could be a play. If you look on Bet365, they have like pitcher K high and pitcher K low. So I'd be interested to see what that market's going to be on there. But again, I think you could like get kind of a cheap hedge here where you could probably also just bet him to be just freaking awesome. And he may just have this kind of game where the team is behind him, Dodgers end up cruising, etc. So for me, that's the game I'm kind of targeting. But I know you kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about staying in that division, but not necessarily with your beloved Phillies.
No, and for those who catch this, like one of the things that I like that's today for the Phillies. First of all, Phillies are 6-1 against the Dodgers over their last 7 games, including and that's in Dodger Stadium too. And I'm not even including 2 NLCSs that they crushed them in. And Porter's got it right. I took Luzardo, by the way, tonight to have a win at plus 290. This is a Dodgers team that is not good against lefties in general. And that just seems like a bonkers price to me. If this game if Yamamoto doesn't have a great game, it goes off risk. Plus 290 for a guy who has a 15K per 9 right now is just a terrible price. That being said, series that I'm looking at right now is a critical series for the Braves. Critical series for the Braves. They have the most ideal rest situation where they had off yesterday and they have off on Monday. Porter, I love Lazar. I love Porter's so supportive. So this is it. They basically had a day that they could come home and fix things, tweak things on how their West Coast trip started, and they have off on Monday, so they can empty the bullpen on Sunday. This is it. So if this series is anything less than 2-1, because then they go and they play the Phils, and then I think they play the Mets. Like this could bury them in the division. It's not what you want to have. So for me, I'm just looking at the Braves stuff. I think that being said, I think the Braves being minus 230 against anyone is crazy right now. That's a terrible price. And I'm on Max Meyer K's, but to me, this is a early, most important series of the season right now is this one for the Braves.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still, I guess it's because it's just as a Mets fan, it's hard for me to see that the Braves are ever just totally dead. And I know there's other teams that have started 0-7 or have had 7-game, not started 0-7, but had 7-game losing streaks and still ended up winning the World Series. I mean, like the 05 White Sox, 06 Cardinals had 3 separate series where they lost 7 straight games. So I would say, like, I'd still be a little hesitant on like betting the Braves to miss the playoffs. We talked about that like on the first show. Like I don't think that's like gone yet, but I totally agree that this is like can't believe I'm saying this out of 162 games, but it does feel sort of like a make or break series for them. What is
you can't be down 9 games
what is the Max Meyer
in May?
What is the Max Meyer like to record a win? Because I'm just thinking about like what are other alt ways that I could bet them
it's like
for a good price.
It's a great price.
Yeah.
Here, I'll find it.
That's a good way to kind of attack that.
It is Max Meyer is to record a win plus 330.
Yeah, see, I feel like that might be a bet. I mean, you've got
I think I got it.
Minus 230 is the money line.
Yeah, that's a bet. If he gave up 4 runs to them the last time he went against them, against what I would say is, it wasn't a good Braves lineup, but it's a better Braves lineup than they have right now. And he still struck out 7 guys. I'm on his over Ks. I've been on it since last night and I love it. But yeah, man, 3 plus 330 for this. Against a feisty Marlins team. The Schwellenbach's outs is an obscene number tonight. 18 and a half. It's 18 and a half.
Good. Bump them up to 26 and a half. Just get me as close to those 150 plus Ks for Schwelly as we need him for here.
Yeah. All right. Markets that you were kind of looking at overall. I got a note here about one of your fancy schmancy Bet 365 markets that I can't get.
Apologies for the small part of America that doesn't have access to Bet 365.
It is really, it makes no sense that Massachusetts and New York don't have it. But anyway,
it's crazy. I love Bet 365 for that reason, just because they've got a lot of good prices for baseball, total bases. You'll probably hear me talk about that later this season. I think this is a fun one, which is pitcher to record first strikeout. This is a prop that you can play. It can actually be part of an SGP, even if you want to get a little bit spicier. There's 2 games that I had circled. So if you're looking at this as kind of like a market to bet, the first thing you want to do is, all right, you want to try and back the away pitcher, right? So you want the away pitcher because they're going to have to face the lineup second. So you're basically, what this ultimately is do you think that the top of the order for the away lineup will not strike out in the top of the first inning? If they don't strike out, you've got tremendous value going into the bottom of the first. So you kind of look through and you say, okay, well, what are the teams that don't strike out a lot at the top of the order? And there's 2 that came to mind for me that I looked at in terms of at least today's games as an example. So one of them was aforementioned, as we had talked a little earlier about Washington and Arizona, right? So Washington is a turnstile at the plate right now in terms of just striking out. Arizona is not. Most at the top of their lineup, under 20% in that K rate that you're going to get within Carroll, within Cattell, and then I think who is their third guy today? I'm looking here.
Gurriel, probably.
Gurriel, yeah. So Carroll had a bad game yesterday. He's up to 25% so far. But you've got Marte, 12.9%, Gurriel, 10.7%, Josh Naylor, 4th in the order, 6.7%. So, going up against a guy in Jake Irvin that is not necessarily a dude that is known for striking out a bunch of guys that has like amazing stuff. So I would say good bet here, plus 220. You can get Fat or Brandon Fapt on the Diamondbacks for the first strikeout. Basically, if Diamondbacks don't strike out on the top of the first, you're going to win this bet. I'm telling you, he gets to face C.J. Abrams and James Wood at the bottom of the first. So that one, and then Dodgers. We talked about this series a lot, but Yamamoto is plus 320 for this. I know Luzardo. Okay, I get it. He's got like a 50K per 9 right now. Congratulations, you did that against the Nationals. Okay, if I throw against the Nationals, I'm getting a K per 9. So yeah, I think that's kind of a little bit of a mispriced one at plus 320. That one's a little bit riskier, obviously, but top of that Dodgers order, pretty disciplined. So I'll go with that one there. What about you, Adam?
No, I like that. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. My big thing, I mentioned it earlier. Shout out Birdman, on there. The one I mentioned earlier, pitcher to record a win. And a really good thing to do is take any of these platforms that you can look stuff up on, whether it's Outlier, whether it's props, whether it's Hall of Fame bets, whatever you're using. Look for guys that have higher than 16.5 outs, are on teams that ideally are short faves or short dogs, and or the Max Myers situation, crazy long dogs. There's a lot of value on this. It's just like, will you even get a mildly quality start out of a guy? Hit on it with Hunter Brown, hit on it with Hunter Green. I have a couple of them today. I have Luzardo. Who else did I did? I'm fading the Mets today, so I have it on Gausman. So that is, I was just looking and seeing, I think that's a really good market that I'm continuing to attack. It's not going to have as much value once there's a lot more data collected on these guys. Once these guys make more starts, it's harder to find that kind of value. But I think right now they have no idea how to price it. So hammer it. So
can I ask you a question though on that market? Because the one thing I think of with recording a win is obviously your bullpen can really, screw the pooch for you. If you've got a shitty bullpen. I look at has Skeens recorded a win yet? Did he get a win the other day? Right?
How much he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
Okay, yeah. I know in the first start he definitely didn't, but they also got walked off in every single game of that series. How much are you factoring at all Pens into this? Okay.
I'm not taking this with the Rockies. I'm factoring it in, but the factors here's the factors for me. Is the pitcher that I have starting, I think, going to be able to go at least 5? Do I think that the pitcher on the other side is going to be prone to giving things up? And could this bullpen blow it? So those are the 3 things that I'm factoring in on this. That's why that Myers one is pretty good. Schwellenbach gives up long balls. So I'll take that. I'll take that.
It's kind of like if you kind of made it into a derivative, it's like play from ahead and win. That's basically what this
exactly. Can they play from ahead and win and do that? And I also, you just get things like that where it's just a bonkers number. Because the reality is with the Marlins is that do we think the Braves bullpen's actually been fine? With the exception of the Dodgers situation, their bullpen's been fine. You think that this team's you think the Marlins are built to come back on the road? Probably not. So if I just think it's a good market to play. Are there batters markets that you're playing right now? I'm kind of off batters markets right now.
I'm playing home runs, but in the words of late season Walter White, tread lightly on that. I think batter Ks are just a fantastic market if you have that open. And batter Ks, I'm looking at Prize Picks. I know offers this. I believe that as it gets closer to the game, DraftKings and Bet365 also. I definitely know DraftKings has because you can put it in an SGP, at least for some players. But dude, there's some crazy value, especially if you're playing this on something like building a power play on Prize Picks, where you can get right now. So going back to the Nationals, Nathaniel Lowe. All right, Nathaniel Lowe with his 50, I believe 53% K rate right now. Yeah, 52. Okay, 52% K rate. You can throw him in to one of those batter Ks in terms of a flex or a power play, and honestly, that's almost like a free square at this point. Especially if you're going up a pitcher that has some pretty good stuff in terms of called strikes and whiffs and high K minus walk rate. So batter Ks, I think if you're looking for stuff to add for SGPs, that kind of thing, that's a good. I wouldn't necessarily say you're going to get a lot of value betting those straight because there's a lot of juice. But if you need additional legs for a parlay, for a promo, batter Ks to me is a nice one that you can.
Anybody on the bridge. It's part of why I like. I mean, they have a 30% K rate. That's against righties. That's just obscene. All right. What do we got? Okay, so now we're getting towards this last part. If you were just joining us, 104 people are watching this. This is awesome. Nice work, guys. You're watching Dad's Bet Baseball. Like us on Twitter, like us on Instagram, like us on all the platforms. It's at Dad's Bet Baseball on Instagram and on Twitter, on YouTube. Subscribe. Give us a 5-star review. Treat us like your Uber, where you're like, look, this was whatever and it smelled like cheese, but I'm still giving it 5 stars and not leaving any comments and getting out of the car. That is what people do. I appreciate you if you do this. Our final portion of the show. Let's check in on a couple of our futures because I'm excited about this one. CJ, I'm gonna pull up MLB RBI leaders right now and look at what we have here. Leading the league right now, Aaron Judge, 15. We don't have anything on him. Cedric Mullins has 11. I don't think that's gonna last. But then I look actually tied with Cedric Mullins, tied at number 2. Who do I see? The samurai himself, Seiya Suzuki, with 11 RBIs. We have him at 200-1. Stop the count. This is my stop the count future of the week. That's what we're gonna new segment. We're gonna
count like 5 more. Count five more, and then yes, then stop the count. Then we're at RBI leader.
I see Pete Alonso, who we also have, who's like our short guy that we have, and he's tied with Ellie De La Cruz. Great week for our RBI futures. Stop the count.
Yeah, I mean, Suzuki is, I think at one point in the offseason, I had texted you, I was like, I want to bet like 3 more Suzuki futures, but we already have so much on him for RBI leader and a bunch of others. So yeah, I think that's been, and he looked awful in the Tokyo series, but I mean, that was
bad. I was like really worried. I was like, yeah, I think our Suzuki bets are dead in the water.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, me too. But that was a guy that we had definitely circled in the offseason for, somebody who had like super high ISO, had a very high BABIP, but numbers really just weren't quite there, and also was hurt last year, so we were going to get kind of depressed number on him. So I like that. And then Alonso obviously had a great week. So as a Mets fan, I had to probably watch that game tying home run at least 4 or 5 times earlier. So pretty sweet.
We have a boost on DK, and we're at the near end of the show. Friend of the program, not a sponsor of the program. Want to feel obligated to tell you that. Friend of the very active friend of the program, the Hall of Fame bets team, have a really good parlay optimizer that I was going to try to use. I was going to use right now and mess around a little bit because we have a DK boost and build a bomb with you. You interested? And people that are watching it right now could be putting it in right now.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. I'm going to do this. So
let's go.
Their parlay optimizer is really good. I will highly recommend it. So I'm on NBA right now. I need to move it to MLB. So, all right. I'm going to go to stat type. So do you have something that you like? Because I can tell you, I'm going to do it with home runs, and let's do pitcher strikeouts, because I know I can do that on DK. DK is like really conservative about what they let you parlay, and total bases. And I'll give it a matchup grade. I want everything that's a B or higher. Let's do odds that are 150 to excessive. Give me a hit rate. I'm using the hit rate thing on there. Their apps. It's a well done product. This part. Okay. So let's do this on games that are later tonight, because that way, if anybody watches this or listens to this later. Okay. So the games that I will let you choose from are games that start at anything after 4:00. Okay. Someone should listen to this by then.
Okay.
So do you have anything? I'm pulling up a list, but you tell me if there's some things that you like at all that are top of mind, and we'll make this a 3-leg.
In some way, I want something on Jimenez from Toronto tonight against the Mets. I know that might be a little bit out of left field, but you know that this guy has a 1.131 OPS.
He is awesome, and he's batting cleanup.
Yeah. He's batting cleanup, which the biggest thing that everybody railed on him in Cleveland and for the Toronto making this trade was like, oh, great, you got an awesome fielder, but can he stay in the lineup? Can he actually be able to hit? And he's been great. So I want something along the lines of him. I don't know if we can take a look at what is his to get a hit or bases number, but I still have a feeling that might be a guy that the market is not as caught up in. However, this is a 3:10 game, so maybe we throw this out.
I don't think it's yeah. We got to skip that one because I only did the 4:00 games on here. So you got
so
the
4
choices
o'clock.
are basically
so
this Yankees game, this D-backs game, and the Giants game. So you get it. Yeah, Nats are available to you. D-backs are available to you. A's are available to you. I know who I'm taking. I can tell you that. I can tell you this right now. I know who I'm taking.
Well, why don't you go and tell me who you're taking? Then I'm going to see if I can add something here for either an SGP or if we can just make it a parlay.
I mean, we're just gonna SGP because we have that boost. So I feel like
I was gonna say then just give me the good one and we'll build an SGP.
Gino Suarez all over 2.5 bases at plus 250.
Gino,
I can't get enough of them, dude. So that's a.
I mean, the thing with Suarez is like when he's hitting the ball, like you just have to just like literally keep betting him until he has a game where he has like 4 strikeouts. Then he won't hit for like a month. So I like that.
I have that. So we have to have 3 legs. So I'm claiming 2 of them. That Rooker over 1 and Rooker over 1.5 bases at even money. Also on DK. This is
all right. Well, then if you're playing, especially if it's for like an SGPX for a boost, then we have to take FAP over strikeouts. I mean,
who do you want?
FAP over strikeouts.
Oh, okay, good call. Let's get that.
I mean, 6 plus is minus 110. He's definitely getting that.
Okay, let's do it. I'm doing it right now. And then pitchers I got at least 6. Done. Okay, so then I will put this into. I'm going to do it in DK right now. I use their thing to do this. Everyone's like, I have enough shows where I watch Bird play on his computer, but you don't get to see me play on my phone. All right, so we have an SGP. We have that. It won't. I guess it won't even let me. It's 12-1, and it won't let me do it as a boost, but it's 12-1, and I still like it, and I'm still willing to throw a quarter unit on it.
Yeah, no, that's a fun one.
All right.
I'll say one last thing about Suarez. He has a .077 BABIP right now because he just doesn't put any balls in play. He just puts them all over the fence.
So
crazy.
Gino Suarez 3 total bases. Brandon Pfaadt 6 strikeouts, and Porter's guy Rooker 2 bases, 12-1. $25 gets you 325. Get you $300. That's all.
Love it.
Done. Shipped. Big thank you to our friends of the program on that one. Okay, we are coming to the close. Producer Spencer, come on in for recommendations and happiness. How much tight and also live everything. How much tighter was this? This was great. All right. CJ, give me a recommend again. Shout out to Joe Dallaire for letting me steal ideas from his pod. This is great. Please give me a recommendation from the last few days that you have.
I mean, this is going to be like so in the stream of pop culture right now, but I mean, I got to recommend The White Lotus. I love it. It's this season, I will say, is not as good as the previous 2. But writing is still super crisp. Dialogue is still great. Get to watch beautiful people and beautiful locations, and there's murder. So there you go. That's what Lotus for me. And also, I mean, if you have a spouse or you have a girlfriend, I don't know how you don't get them to watch this show. Like it's like the
spouse could be your boyfriend show to watch too, but just we are really progressive.
Of course,
I watched the 2nd season with my wife. I've not watched this 3rd one, but I heard the attire is awesome in it. Okay, White Lotus. Spence, what do you got?
So I haven't watched the show yet, but I'm going to. But it's not my official recommendation. But The Pit on Max is getting a lot of buzz too. It's the hospital show. I think he's in like the ER unit or something. But seems like a nice guy. Seems like an awesome guy. But my official recommendation is, I recommend everyone have giant trash bags on hand at all times, because a giant bird like died in my backyard, and I underestimated the size of the bird, but I was glad I had a giant trash bag on that was big enough to like hold the thing. I'll send a picture later in the group chat. But
I love the fact that CJ's recommendation said, "Oh, it includes murder," and immediately Spencer says, "By the way, a dead you need trash bags." So basically, we're now all in this. We're all.
I'm not implicating anybody. I promise.
No, I think that's great. It's funny you mentioned The Pit, starring Noah Weil, who was on ER, because my recommendation is to rewatch ER. I started rewatching ER, which was big when I was in high school and college.
That's the George Clooney show, right? That's
the George Clooney show. Yeah, he was on it. Rewatch ER.
Him as like a big actor. Like ER, I've never seen a second of it, but that's what everyone talks about.
You know who else is in it? Anthony Edwards from Revenge of the Nerds. He's in it. Everybody's in it. It's awesome.
That's what I learned about West Wing when I finished that.
Yeah. No, another John Wells show. I like West Wing's great. Yeah. So anyway, those shows were huge at the same time, but that's my recommendation. So we got White Lotus. We got Having Trash Bags on at all times, and the
big trash bags,
big trash bags. And then we also have rewatching ER. Remind everybody at Dad's Bet Baseball on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. It's just that. It's not even that with a pod. It's just that. Like and subscribe. Thanks everybody for coming by. 138 of you guys watch this. It's pretty awesome. Big thanks as always to Spencer for tolerating our BS and kicking our stuff in line. And a reminder that we have a parlay that we decided to make. So if you listen to this on Saturday, the games will have already happened, but if you listen to this right now, you got until 4:00 for this. So you got some time. Gino Suarez, 3 total bases. Brandon Pfaadt, 6 strikeouts. Brent Rooker, 2 total bases, 12-1 on DK. And yeah, guys, it pays to kind of listen and watch the show. So thanks everybody for coming. You can follow us. You see our handles on here at Hey Rosenberg, at Dad's That Bet for CJ, and at Spencer_Ray. That's Ray, RAY, not REY. And thanks everybody for coming. We will be back on Sunday night for our first Sunday night edition. The way this usually work, we'll usually have a Sunday night show around 9 o'clock, 9:30, and then we'll have a Thursday show that is either going to be in the afternoon or it's going to be at night, depending on our availability. But you now have an idea of how this is going to work. So thanks for coming by, and we will. Depending on kids. And if you have kids, yeah. So thanks again, everybody.